50-year-old Roy D'Souza, specially abled, was beaten to death allegedly by policemen for violating lockdown norms. This incident took place last week in Madikeri in Karnataka. Following an internal inquiry, 8 cops have been suspended. The action against the policemen were initiated after Robin D'Souza, the brother of the victim, lodged a complaint. According to the family, Roy D'Souza was living with his mother while his brother Robin was in Bengaluru. Roy ran away from his house late at night on the 8th of June. The policemen found him wandering and questioned him for violating the lockdown norms and also thrashed him physically. Earlier on the 9th of June, his mother was summoned to the police station where she found Roy lying unconscious. He was rushed to the district hospital. So clearly this is a case of police atrocity from prima facie evidence that is in public domain now. This happened in Madikeri district of Karnataka, an alleged case of torture by the police. Specially abled person beaten up mercilessly by the cops. And he of course succumbed to his injuries later. He was rushed to the district hospital after the assault, but the victim could not survive. Shrija joining us on the phone line. Shrija, extremely unfortunate to see the death of a person after this kind of physical assault by the police. Now, what prompted the police to take this kind of an extreme action, and was it not known to them that he was mentally challenged?
Well, at first, we understand from the investigating officers that this particular victim, Roy D'Souza, who is a native of Chikpet and Virajpet of Madikeri district in Karnataka, we see that he in fact escaped from his house, ran away from his house on the night of June 8th. And we see we understand from the officers that he was wandering in Madikeri, and that is when the officers who had been deployed, in fact, to ensure and as far as the COVID norms are concerned, they in fact caught hold of him and then thrashed him. Due to the injuries, is what we understand, he succumbed. Of course, this kind of atrocity has come to light. And as far as the police officers are concerned, this is not the very first time where we see, if at all, if someone is violating the COVID norms, we see that the police officers here in Karnataka have been resorting to lathi charge, not once, not twice. In fact, Mirror now has reported a similar kind of incident in the past as well. So this is the very first time that we are looking at a case where one person, a mentally unstable person, has been in fact thrashed to death by the police officers themselves, and the investigating team have right now suspended nearly 8 cops who were involved in this particular atrocious incident.
All right, thanks for joining us, Shrija. But one more aspect that we need to talk about is the fact that you highlighted this is not the first time. So clearly, in terms of the police following guidelines or following rules, there is a violation there as well. So while they are trying to crack down on the violators of COVID protocol, they are clearly crossing the line. Is anything being done to ensure that this kind of atrocity does not happen? The police has given that kind of sensitization training or something of that nature to ensure that physical thrashing at least does not happen of violators?
Well, that's a very good question, because in the month of May, we understand the Karnataka High Court, in fact, dismissed a police lathi charge case. We also see that this particular petition was filed by an activist who wanted an FIR against the police for caning the public during lockdown. But in fact, the court went ahead and dismissed that particular petition, and this is also giving a moral booster to the police department. Of course, we see that there have been several incidents, like I did point out, in the past, that the only one thing, the message that the police department want to send out to the public is do not step out when you really have lockdown norms in place. And that's one thing we understand the police are continuing to resort to, whether it was in the past or not. But even today, we understand the police, the first thing that they do is actually lathi charge the public if they actually want them to leave the spot. Of course, there's no such a mandate or a rule that's come in actually from the Karnataka government, or an instruction that's been passed to the police department not to resort to do so, while you also had the Karnataka High Court dismissing the same kind of a petition.
Right. Thanks for joining us, Shrija, with the important inputs on this.